Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. Today we are going to be tuning into your connection and the future of it. So we're going to be seeing what's going on in the future with this connection. Where is it heading? What can you look forward to? What's going to be happening down the road with this connection? We're getting into all of it. And today we have a selection of different crystals for you to choose from. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Basically, you're going to see which of these crystals is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you make up your mind, just scroll down to the timestamps and the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. By the way, if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of it, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. There are over 100 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get to be the first to watch all my YouTube videos. They always get posted over there first. I just posted a reading all about your 2024 wrap-up, what you learned in the past year, and what you're carrying with you into 2025 as a result. But like I said, there is so much content over on Patreon, over 100 exclusive readings, and then you get to be the first to watch my YouTube videos well in advance of everyone else. So if that sounds good, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship, a combination, whether you want it to be pre-recorded or live, you get to really customize your session with me, so it's the perfect reading for you. If that sounds good, then head to the link in my description for briarrosetarot.com. So that's about all I have to say, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Princess, aka Page of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. So wow, this card, if you pulled this pile, this could be someone you have a lifelong connection with. You could marry this person. You could start a family with them. There are so many cards that have to do with family, with longevity. Both the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles depict families. The 10 of Pentacles shows multiple generations, like grandfather, son, and grandson. So, and this 10 of Cups shows a mother and a dad, and then kids, and even a dog sometimes. So there is definitely an energy where you may be having kids with this person. You could be marrying them. You could be starting a family. You could be moving in with them. You guys may have a very long-term connection, start a home. This could be a connection that lasts you for the rest of your life. And there's a soul connection here. Even a soul contract maybe to bring in another soul, because that's really what it is to have a child with someone. You know, it is that soul contract to bring another soul from the astral realm and then channel them down into the physical realm. So you guys could have a soul contract to do that, to carry that out with each other. I do feel like with the Princess of Cups coming through as the first card and then combining with the 6 of Pentacles, there's also an energy here where this person may really heal trauma in you, or also, especially for my feminines, if you pick this pile and you're a girl, and you date men especially, this could be an energy where they are teaching you how to step into your feminine. So they are teaching you how to receive and how to be almost like gentler, easier, more receptive, not to be so independent. Maybe just to feel more free to like pursue creative pursuits and relax and not be so focused on the financial or on your obligations, responsibilities. This could be a masculine who definitely wants to step up to the plate and like take care of you and look after you and, you know, be there for you in a very tangible, earthly way. Like, okay, I paid that bill, or I called that company and like took care of this situation, or I, you know, called about the phone bill, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Those things that maybe are earthly realm things, and then you may be able to more focus on like, your dreams, your poetry, your creative pursuits, the things that make you feel good, and maybe relaxing more. However this is coming through, whether you're a masculine or feminine, I definitely feel like this could be a connection that's about healing trauma. And what's coming through really strongly is that this person is definitely going to be on your side. Like they are going to take your side every time. You're never going to have to doubt their loyalty and that they've got your back. And that's really something that I feel like is very almost healing for you. Like you can trust them, you can rely on them. You don't have to worry about them stabbing you in the back, or they're not going to be there for you, or they may abandon you. It feels like there's this really deep connection, deep knowing, deep trust that happens with each other. But yeah, definitely could be having a family, definitely could be starting, getting married, getting engaged, and having this very long-term connection. Like, I'm honestly kind of shocked because the cards are like, did I stutter? I always think that's funny when the cards are just so like clear. Sometimes you have to like intuit, like, okay, so this card combined with that card, what does that mean? And, maybe this meaning could be coming through. But like, to me, this is so clear. The 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. I think any tarot reader would even have the same interpretation that like it has to be starting a family with someone. It has to be a long-term buying a house with someone. Like there is a very tangible permanence to this connection as well. You can see we got a lot of the higher cards, the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, and then the 10 of Cups. So the 10s and the 9s talk about completing something. It's very permanent. Whenever we're in the earlier cards, the 1s to the 8s, we're all going through this journey where maybe we're beginning something, we're starting the process, and then later on we're kind of in the thick of it. We're maybe getting through the hard part and with the 5s, and then we're coming up to the 8s and the 7s, and we've started to get more comfortable, but we're still building. And when we get to the 10s and 9s, that's like a payoff. That's like, okay, we figured this out, and there's a permanence, and it can't be taken away. We went through that journey. You know what I mean? So this could be something that it's like you guys go through rocky waters together. You guys fight and battle through like difficulty. You guys can trust each other. You guys are allies. And it's not as precarious. It's not a beginning energy the way the 2s or the 3s could be like, oh, okay, I think we're in this energy, but it's fresh and it's new and maybe it's exciting, but it's kind of unstable. No, there is something that is so like tangible here that's going to last a really long time. And it's almost like nothing can be done to take it away. The 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles are also about financial abundance. So this could be a connection that helps you to be financially abundant in some way. So this person could be paying bills for you, like I said, especially combined with the 6 of Pentacles, or they could just help you to accumulate your wealth. One of the ways they could do that with the Princess of Cups is really inspiring you and allowing you, again, I feel like this person is helping you gain confidence. It's almost like it really feels like they are your biggest fan, your biggest ally. Like if you're like, oh, I don't know, like I like this project, but I'm not sure, like maybe I shouldn't launch it, or I really want to talk to my boss about this, but like I'm afraid they're going to turn me down. I feel like this person, it's like they are your cheerleader. They're going to be like, yes, go to your boss. Yes, you deserve that raise. They're not going to be like that sabotage energy, or let me keep them small, or I don't really get you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like they really get you on a soul level. They're cheering you on. And again, it's giving me soul contract vibes where like they are here to help you. You're here to help them. You have a contract with this person and you are meant to bring something through together, and I feel like they're also helping you work through your traumas. If you have fears of abandonment, if you felt neglected, if you felt like not good enough, the way this person chooses you so decisively, the way they're not confused at all, the way they're not like, yeah, I kind of like you, but you have to win me over. I feel like this could be a connection that moves to commitment very quick, or they make their intentions very known, or it feels different for you from the jump when you meet them. You feel understood by them. You don't feel like you have to explain yourself or tell them about you, or, like kind of create some narrative and like convince them. They get you from the day one, from the jump, So there is a real connection here. And like I said, it could bring financial abundance. This could be you guys starting a business together, you guys buying a home together, the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles both do talk about financial success, luxury, material success, material status with each other. So this person could buy you a home. This person could help you in your career, support you to the point where you're able to like go out for the, promotion, and they cheer you on or support you financially while you go back to school so you can earn more money, or pay for a lot of things for you, or just help you to have that security where you guys are able to buy a home together or whatever. I feel like there's such an energy of a support system here, and you being able to rely on them and you being able to trust them on such a deep level. Like I said, it's very healing with this person. Let me get into these cards for you. Pile number 1. So we want to know what the future is for pile 1 with this person. What is the future for pile 1 with this person? Okay. Courage. Wow. I almost want to get emotional. You guys could adopt animals together. Like I said, it's giving family vibe. And on the 10 of Cups, a lot of times there is a dog, like on the Rider-Waite deck, there's a dog next to this family. So it's very that like white picket fence, the 2 kids and the dog and the parents, and they're standing in front of a home, and it's very like traditional family. And I feel like that is definitely coming through for you guys. Career. Yes. And like I said, this person gives biggest fan energy. Like they're cheering you on. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, we got compassion. And this is what was really, wow, fertility. I definitely feel like you guys could have a family together. You guys could have kids together. You guys may be very fertile together. So if you're having fun times with this person and you don't want kids, you may have to like make sure you're being extra careful, because you could have a very fertile vibe with them. And again, you could have a soul contract to bring through another soul from the astral plane down to the physical realm, which is what pregnancy does. It brings through, a soul who's up there and in the ethereal plane and brings them to earth. So you guys might have a soul contract to do that. But again, with career, with courage, I feel like this person, it's almost like they are your safe place, or they allow you to feel safe in a world where, all of us may feel lonely or feel kind of scared or feel like a lack of confidence, or like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. And I feel like with this person, you really just have that cheerleader in your corner, and they have your back. Like you don't even have to worry about it. It reminds me of a boyfriend I had when I was younger, and I broke up with him because there was a time that I was at a concert and this girl like hit me randomly. I guess she was annoyed by me being like next to her, and she hit me, and I started arguing with her back. And anyway, I still remember my boyfriend just standing there and like staring, and me being like, hello, like I'm a Venus Aries, so I always need to feel like someone's going to fight next to me. That's very important for me in love. Like, you've got my back, I've got your back. And I was like, oh my God, like he looks like a deer in headlights, And the point is, I feel like we all want to know, like at least for me as a Venus Aries, like this person has my back. I can trust them. I can rely on them. I can depend on them. I have someone here that I can like, if something goes left, they're with me. They're standing 10 toes down next to me. They're going to defend me. They're going to protect me. Or even if you could think of a scenario of like someone doesn't get along with their mother-in-law, you want that person standing up for you, taking your side, not siding with their mom. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the thing with this person. Like they will always take your side. They will always defend you. They're always going to be brave for you. They're never going to take the cowardly path and be like, oh my God, I don't want to get involved, or let me just let pile 1 handle this, and I'm just going to stay in the safety zone, and like I'm not really going to help them. Like, I feel like this person, like they are just coming through as such an ally for you. Even if you said, I'm really stressed and like overwhelmed and I need you to do more housework. That might not even need to be a discussion, because they could from the jump immediately be like, hey, by the way, I'm cooking tonight, or I've got the dishes, or like I did a load of laundry for you, and you don't even have to tell them like, hey, I'm kind of stressed. Can you do the laundry? Because they've already got that. And they're very aware of like wanting to give you that space, wanting to take care of you, wanting to step up to the plate for you in a very tangible way. And I feel like that really frees you up to be like, oh, well, I could also do this then. Well, now I have more free time. Maybe I could accomplish that. So you may literally see your career blossom because of this person. And they may know right away when they meet you that they want something long-term and very tangible with you. Let me get into some song cards for this reading. Okay, what song cards do we have that sum up this 5? Okay, Waiting in Vain, Bob Marley. So Happy I Could Die, Lady Gaga. She's So Lovely, Beach House. Aww. Moi Je Joue, Brigitte Bardot. What song cards are going to sum up the future for pile 1, Spirit? Love Stoned, Justin Timberlake. Our Swords, Band of Horses. And Selfish, Britney Spears. Interesting. Door, Caroline Polachek. I do feel like Door, to me, is a very spiritual song, one of my favorite songs of all time, to be honest. But I feel like that's such a spiritual energy, and you guys definitely have that spiritual vibe around you where, like I said, you guys may have a soul contract, and it's like things are just on another level with you guys. You know, you can trust this person, you can open up to them. There's a relaxation coming through. There's like almost, it feels like taking a breath and being like, oh, okay, I can relax. Like I don't have to be so rigid. Even, you know, So Happy I Could Die. It feels like, okay, I almost like I don't have to worry as much, you know. In other relationships, maybe you've always felt a little unsure of the other person's intentions, or you'd be stressing out like, okay, are they going to text me? Are they going to leave me? What if this argument is a deal breaker or whatever? And I feel like you just always feel like you can rely on them, like you can depend on them. And they could bring a lot of happiness to your life. And again, I feel like with She's So Lovely, Beach House, what's sticking out to me about that song is the beach house part. Like you guys could buy a beach house together. You guys could have that, like there could be a joining between you guys that magnifies wealth, you know, where it's like this person and you together, you might have like a Jupiter Venus aspect in your chart or something like that, Jupiter aspects or Venus aspects that are just like increasing your wealth, you know, or this person could have like their Venus in your 8th house or their Venus in your 2nd house or their Jupiter in a money house for you, Jupiter in the 2nd or 8th house, where it's like them being in your life just allows you to access more wealth and allows you to build in a way that maybe wouldn't be possible if you were single, you know, in some way, whether that's because they give you money, they come from family money, they help you with your career, they cheer you on and support you, but it just feels like wealth is being magnified here. And I feel like as well with our swords, it's not to say there's not going to be any conflict here, but I do feel like that's the thing is you can kind of always trust this person. Like even if it gets crazy and things are really stressful, you know you can rely on them. And that's the difference. It's not that you guys never fight or never disagree, but it's like, okay, I know I can trust this person at the end of the day. And I know they've got my back. And I know genuinely that they want the best for me. Even if we're disagreeing or even if there's a problem, it's not one of those problems where you're like, wait, does this person secretly hate me? Why are they doing blah, blah, blah? It's like, no, I know they love me and I know I can relax and kind of focus on myself with this Selfish song coming out as well. I want to get into these cards as well. So we want to know what's going to be happening for the future of this connection, Spirit. What's going to be happening for the future of this connection? Oh my gosh. Okay, hostilities. Man holding a coin. And that is so perfect because like I said, I just feel like this person really helps you with wealth somehow. And it could be that they're happy to pay for things, or even like, I feel like pentacles in general are earthly concerns. So it definitely can be straight up money. It can also be like pentacles, you know, can be like that tangible help, like someone coming over and bringing you soup. After a, you know, you went through a hard time or something and they bring you a casserole and it's like something you can touch, like all those earthly things, like work and things and objects and items that you can hold. Whereas, you know, cups and swords and stuff can be just like ideas. Like I was thinking of you, I wrote you something, or I, made poetry, or I wrote a song for you, which can be really beautiful. But it's like, if you just got through like a really hard surgery and you are healing up and you can't cook for yourself, and someone says, by the way, I wrote a song for you, you're probably gonna be like, okay, thanks, but like, could you have brought over some takeout or something? Like, I really could use some food right now, or could you actually come over and just do a load of laundry for me? Because that would help more than telling me how much you were thinking of me and how sweet I am. So again, I feel like this person's very willing to provide for you tangibly and like take care of things and help you in the earthly realm. And your relationship may even feel very grounded because of that. It may feel like you're dealing with things that sometimes could be kind of boring. Like, this person comes into your life and they start asking questions about like, okay, so what insurance do you have? Or like, wait a minute, it seems like you're paying way too much in taxes. Like, do you want to talk to my accountant? Because he's pretty good and you can talk to him confidentially, but maybe, you could be getting a better deal on this. Or like, hey, you're paying way too much in rent, move into my place. Or I have a friend who's a real estate agent and I can hook you up with like a better apartment deal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person comes in to kind of help you with those tangible things. And it's not just like a matter of writing sweet love notes and telling you how beautiful you are, although I think that's true. But it's also about like, okay, how do I add value to your life? How do I bring something into your daily reality? And like I said, this is where a kid can come in, because it's not just the idea of love. It's like, okay, now we actually have a child and we have to deal with the things of like figuring out daycare and staying up late to feed him or feed her. Or we have to, deal with like all the issues of, I don't know, who's changing the diapers. And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person, there's an energy of them really changing the physical reality of your life, where you live, your day-to-day life, and not being afraid of any of those responsibilities. It feels like they're very grown up. Let's see. Okay, we got action. And this one is door to spirit. And let me get one more. Healer of the ages. So like I said, this seems like a very healing connection for you. With hostilities, again, you guys could be sometimes disagreeing, butting heads, but I do feel like you're always able to work through it. It's not that everything has to be perfect between you guys to feel this connection. If anything, it's like, wow, we got through all this. I'm hearing that song, Looks Like We Made It by Shania Twain, where, yeah, I feel like that's such a sweet song, basically talking about like, I can't believe we made it through everything. And I feel like there's that vibe with you guys. It's not that you're just having, how like on The Bachelor, people will say that, well, like, of course they broke up because they fell in love on like this reality show where they're living in a mansion and they're going on these amazing vacations. And they're traveling to like Bora Bora for their engagement. And of course it feels magical, but then you take that back into the real world and you're sharing a small apartment, or you're, having to drive to each other's places, and you're having to go out to eat at these just regular schmegular restaurants, and it's not as glamorous, it's not so perfect. And that's when a lot of those relationships fall apart. And I feel like you guys are really good at getting through that. It's like you're so unshakable that you could be faced with a lot of conflict, you could be faced with a lot of hardship, but you're kind of still holding each other's hands at the end of it. I'm also hearing that song Dancing with Our Hands Tied by Taylor Swift, which is kind of about like, we're not going to let anything get to us. Even if all this crazy stuff is happening around us, we've still got each other's hands. We're still holding each other's hands. And I feel like that's the vibe with you guys, is like, you really are each other's allies. You really have each other's backs. And you really see each other so deeply on a level that maybe isn't really the norm. Maybe other people, it's like they have a relationship and things are going great, but they go through a roadblock or they get into a big disagreement and they break up, or someone's going through a really stressful time at work and they break up. And you guys are the opposite. It's like nothing can take you guys apart. No matter what is thrown at you, you still have each other's backs on such a deep level. Let me get some astro dice for you for pile 1. So what is going to be the future of this connection, spirit? So we got the 9th house, aka Sagittarius. Then we have Uranus, aka Aquarius, and Aries. So Sagittarius, Aquarius, Aries energy coming through. So Sagittarius is all about travel, the ninth house of travel. It's also ruled by Jupiter, the great benefic and the great magnifier. So I feel like, again, you guys could have some Jupiter aspects where you guys somehow being in each other's lives just build and expand and help each other grow so much and help each other learn. Sagittarius is also a very spiritual energy. It is an energy of higher learning. So it's where we start to like push ourselves to be better and learn and go through, sometimes like I always think of that as very Sagittarius energy, like traveling, that feeling where you just landed in a new country and maybe you don't speak the language and you have to navigate like getting a taxi and not getting scammed by getting a taxi, because a lot of people get scammed that way, and then getting to your hotel, finding your way to your hotel, finding something to eat that night, and all the daunting like, whoa, okay, I'm in a new place and I don't really know what I'm doing. And again, I feel like you guys have that vibe where other couples may need things to be very nice for them, and you're kind of not sure whether they can last if they went through hardship. Whereas I feel like you guys really just are on this journey together. You may literally travel together. It's an energy of international travel. So you guys may be each other's travel buddies and really learn and grow and change, or live internationally, or one person's job takes them across the world and the other person is like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. Like, I've got your back and I'm down, and I'll go wherever. Then we have Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th house of large groups, friendships, and also of hopes and wishes. So again, I feel like this person could be coming in to help you achieve certain dreams, hopes and wishes. And there's also something very unexpected, unusual about Aquarius, Uranus energy. So this person could come in a very unconventional way. You guys might have a relationship that's unconventional in some way. Like, you guys don't want to get married, but you guys last together for 45 years, and or someone doesn't want to take the other person's last name, or you do things differently, or people around you are like, wait, but I don't have a relationship like that, or there's something different about you guys together that kind of surprises everyone. But I feel like you guys are so in your own lane, focused on yourselves, that you really don't care about the approval from others or what other people are thinking or fitting in. And there's like freedom you guys have with each other. Aquarius is kind of that freedom to be your deepest self, to stick out from the crowd. And you guys may also stick out from the crowd in your connection. Like, people could see from the outside, like, wow, they just seem so connected. They just seem very in love. And maybe it's different from a lot of other relationships that may seem more transactional, or like, yeah, they're together, but it doesn't seem as solid. I feel like you guys just kind of do your own thing and are in your own lane. And then Aries energy. Aries is the house of the self. It opposes the 7th house of Libra, of relationships and kind of compromise and connections. So again, I feel like this person is really helping you embody your truest, fullest self. They're helping you step into your destiny and figure out what you want. And you may actually feel more emboldened to be your deepest, most authentic, truest self with them, because I feel like they really cheer you on. They don't want you to kind of compromise and be a shadow of yourself. They don't want you to be a less full version of yourself. They really want to see you thrive and like be your truest self. I mean, I just saw that footage. This is like, I guess, going to be a very time-specific restaurant reference, but there was just the inauguration of Donald Trump, and Jeff Bezos was there with Lauren Sanchez, and she was wearing like a corset and she had a lot of cleavage, and people were like in the comments like, oh my God, so tacky. And I'm not even weighing in on that, but my point is I just thought it was like, but it's kind of cool that he seems to really like Lauren Sanchez for who she is. And if she wants to dress up in like a corset outfit, I mean, I'm from DC, so I know how conservative DC is, and it is funny to me. So it's like, if she wants to show up in her corseted outfit with her boobs out, Jeff Bezos is like, heck yeah, that's my girl. And he like approved the outfit and everything. And I kind of love that, like, I'm not saying, I'm not weighing in on the actual outfit choice. I'm just saying I love the fact that he's like, be your full self. Like, he's not like, oh, we're in DC, you have to be buttoned up, you have to wear a gown up to your neck, because I'm from DC and like I definitely know that's the vibe. But he was like, no, like, bring your boobs out and like be yourself and wear your sexy outfit. That's who you are. And I don't want you compromising. I don't want you suddenly, wearing something very matronly. I want you to be the girl I fell in love with. And that's the vibe I get here. Like this is someone who's standing 10 toes down for you. Someone could criticize, someone could say, oh my God, I hate her outfit. Or, oh, why is she acting that way? Or, oh my gosh, like, I don't like him at all. And this person is like, I don't care what you think. I love them and I got their back and you can say whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like not even a question for them. They want you to thrive. They want you to be your best, biggest version of yourself. So that is what I have for you. Pile number one, I really hope that resonates, guys. If you want to see more of my content, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. There are over 100 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. I just posted a reading all about a 2024 wrap-up and what you learned in the last year and what you're taking with you into 2025. There are so many readings though over on Patreon, and new ones get posted all the time. And like I said, you get to be the first to watch my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, a combination, you get to really choose your reading and customize it so it's the perfect reading for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon for another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Six of Wands, the Five of Swords reverse, the Prince of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Cups. So I don't know if some of the people who picked this reading, this is like an ex or a no contact situation, but that's the vibe I'm getting with the Six of Cups, which can talk about something from your past coming back. And the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords can be kind of sneaky energy. Six of Wands can talk about social media. So I'm like, okay, is this someone lurking someone's social media? Is this someone who is looking at them, lurking from afar, doesn't want to step forward? I feel like this person, even if this is someone you're dealing with and they're not from the past or it's not no contact, it's almost like they want to conceal their intentions. They don't want you to fully know how much they like you, and they may be kind of dancing around, circling around, and not really wanting to fully step forward. I feel like with the Prince of Swords, they would like to communicate with you, but then there's also that part of them that's like doubting or second guessing, or very much wanting to as well like come off as cool or come off as the one in control. Like they do not want to seem like a loser by reaching out and then you're like, excuse me. So I feel like they kind of do a lot of, like I said, dancing around and not quite fully putting themselves out there, not quite fully making their intentions clear. I feel like in a way this person doesn't even quite know their own intentions, or they don't fully know maybe how to show up and be 100% transparent and vulnerable. The other card I pulled for you guys was the Devil card, and I have it on the side because on this deck it shows some nudity and I just don't want to get anything bad with YouTube, so I'm not going to show that to you guys. But you did get the Devil card as well. The Devil card can definitely talk about bad habits that we have, bad ways of acting that are kind of ingrained in us, almost like addictive behaviors, compulsive behaviors, when you find yourself like maybe doing something that's stupid and it's stupid but you can't stop, kind of like, I'm just going to play video games all night, or I'm just going to eat this, entire cake because I'm stressed out right now. And I don't know, I don't want to think about it. Like, so the Devil card can be where we're very compulsive or we fall into these bad habits. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this person is I feel like there is a lot of desire on their part, but they're also just, I feel like there's honestly, if I'm being fully honest, there's a level of insecurity coming through where they don't feel comfortable being so vulnerable. Maybe they were rejected in the past. Maybe they had some trauma in the past from like being open about their feelings and someone was like, oh, like I don't feel that way, or or I don't know. I feel like this person, they're being kind of cagey, and there's a part of them that maybe really likes to feel like they have the control in the relationship. Maybe it's very important to them to feel like the other person likes them more or whatever. So if you haven't made your feelings entirely clear, I feel like this person may be too scared to step forward, and they may be trying to kind of feel you out and get a sense of like, okay, how are they feeling? What is going on with them without actually stepping forward? There may even be some past resentment, if I'm being honest. Like some of them may think about you and like if this was a breakup or whatever, they may feel like you played them. They may feel like it's almost like I'm getting like this very self-protective energy, like I have to protect myself. And it's almost feeling very belligerent, like a feeling of, don't even tell me what to do. Like as I'm tuning into their energy, them being like, hey, you don't understand. And, I shouldn't have to do that. And you don't get it. Like they're the ones who betrayed me. I feel like if this was an ex, that's probably the energy. If this is someone you're currently dealing with, that could be the energy where they have been hurt in the past and they're still upset about it. And I also feel like they have waited, or they keep waiting to get like that signal from you. It's almost like they're putting it on you, like, hey, pile number 2 is the one who hasn't stepped forward. And in a way, they could also be getting impatient. If you're impatient with them, or you're feeling frustrated, like, oh my God, but why won't they step forward? And it's been a while and like they're still not telling me, and I don't get it. Why won't they just like ask me out? They could be frustrated as well. They could be feeling like, excuse me, you're supposed to be asking me out. Like, hello, you have a say in this too. And I do feel like this person sometimes doesn't take as much personal responsibility as they could, or maybe they just run away from their problems when the going gets tough. I feel like they feel more comfortable kind of lurking around the edges rather than rushing right in, So instead of them coming out and saying, yeah, I really like pile number 2, and, I want to make myself vulnerable, and I want to tell you that, like, yeah, I have a crush on you. I feel like this could be the kind of person that, like, when they think they're flirting, they're like negging you, or they're joking with you in a way that you're like, was that like a compliment? Were you insulting me? What's going on here? Like, I feel like they play things off, and like I said, they can be kind of cagey and kind of like secretive about it. I don't know, maybe it's my Venus Aries, because I really like a direct like approach. I like someone when they are just saying like, I like you, these are my feelings, blah blah blah, making it really clear. Aries wherever it's in your chart, we don't like a lot of nuance. We don't like a lot of like details and like complicated energy. It's like we need it to be direct. So for me, this energy would be a little difficult. I wouldn't necessarily love if someone was feeling this way, because to me, I'm like, okay, you also have to be brave. Like, we want some boldness here, and this person is just not bold. They're very in their head. They could be overthinking a lot with the Prince of Swords, but I feel like they definitely do want to reach out to you. They do want to have that conversation. They do want to be able to talk to you, but it's also like, I feel like they wouldn't even know what to do if they got you. They may have these ideas of it, but then they would they're very like hung up on their own. I feel like I want to say they're hung up on their own past hurt. They're hung up on their own bad habits. They may have certain bad habits, like I said, being addicted to video games, or like just having bad habits with work. Like maybe they're not very ambitious at work, or they have sabotaged other relationships or whatever. I feel like this person could sometimes get into like a self-righteous mode. They may have friends that like back them up on this, where they may tell their friend like, whatever, she didn't give me the sign, and their friend is like, yeah, you're right, you didn't do anything wrong. And instead of their friend being like, well, but you didn't ask her out, so I mean, yeah, she didn't give you a sign, but like, what was she supposed to do? They don't really have anyone, I feel like, in their life who like pushes back. And there's kind of a fragility here. Like I feel like sometimes they just keep themselves in their safety zone instead of putting themselves out there, and instead of taking that risk. They kind of want to like make sure their ego is preserved. For example, the 5 of Swords can talk about something where you may be destined to like lose, not do well. And I feel like with the 5 of Swords being reversed, it's like they're going to avoid that. They may be convinced in their mind that they're going to lose out, that they are not going to win, that you would reject them. So they're just like, I'm avoiding that. I'm not even going to give it a shot. Pile 2 may say no to me. So I feel like, again, they need things to be very, very, very clear. It's almost like they need their hands held, they need to be told, like, you will definitely succeed. There is no way you'll get rejected. And that's when they finally feel comfortable putting themselves out there. But any situation where they are risking rejection really, really stresses them out. Let me get into some of these cards for you. Pile number 2. So, what is the future of this connection for pile 2? Psychic abilities. So you guys may be connecting and talking more on the astral plane than in the physical. Having that connection where you can feel each other's emotions at night, but you're not actually sending that text. What is the future of this connection? Pile number 2. Okay, so we got the Strength card, Courage. This one is Inspiration and Protection. So, yeah, I feel like they're doing a lot of self-protecting. They're lacking that courage and the strength that they would need to be able to make this happen. They're lacking that boldness to just take a risk, put themselves out there, and if they get rejected, oh well, life goes on. That's not how they think of things. And deep down inside, I do think there's a very fragile part of them that is like terrified, maybe because they like you so much that your opinion would really hit them hard if you were to be like, oh, sorry, I don't feel that way. Like, yeah, I mean, you're cool, but you're a friend or something. That would just maybe send them into an outer orbit and really upset them. I do feel like I said, there's a fragility. There's an attempt to protect themselves, their ego, and they do not want to risk you just rejecting them. And they may feel like you would reject them. I feel like they have a part of them that does know you're into them, if I'm being honest. But it's almost like they need to dot all their I's and cross their T's or whatever and make 100% sure. And I'm honestly wondering what you could even do to make it that clear, because I feel like they would practically need you to like put it in writing in a legal contract, and you would have to be the one to pursue them because they're so scared that it's almost like you could try to give them signals, but even if you did, they would still be like, oh, I don't know. They overthink a lot. They're in their head a lot. They're very mentally like restless about this, going back and forth. And again, if this is an ex, or you guys had a no contact situation, they may also tell themselves like crazy little stories about, how you rejected them or you treated them badly. I feel like in a way, this person is giving me victim vibes, victim narrative vibes, where sometimes they may feel more comfortable just being like, hey, it was their fault, instead of actually fixing the situation, instead of doing something about it. They may love to be in that self-righteous mode where they're like, I've been done so wrong, which as a Pisces, I totally get, because we do love to play victim as Pisces. I love it too, but you have to also understand when it's not healthy and that it's time to dry your tears and just go for it and just, pull up yourself by your bootstraps and just deal with it. And I feel like this person isn't good at that. They would rather wallow in like, I was done so wrong and they didn't tell me and they're dating someone else. And it's like, what? Did you even ask them out? Did you even give it a shot? And I feel like they really don't do that. I feel like they very much just like to feel almost wrong. Like they love to wallow in that. They love to just luxuriate in this feeling of, I've been done badly. And that's almost their coping mechanism, to play the victim, to feel better about themselves and their lack of success. So I do feel like they really like you. They're interested in you, but they also just aren't good at pursuing. Maybe this person is attractive and they've never had to pursue, and they're used to like being the one who gets pursued or something like that. But I feel like they are definitely trying to protect themselves. They may even go the easy route. This could be the kind of person that like ends up dating or marrying someone not because they're actually in love with that person or because they have a really deep connection with that person, but because that person does everything for them. Like that person cooks and cleans for them, or that person pays their bills, or that person just kind of chose them and made it work and just pursued them hard and just did everything. And they're not actually in love, but they're like, yeah, but this is easy. Okay, cool. So, that could be something that is a little bit of a turn off for you, or just unless you're willing to step up to the plate and like come up to them and just be really aggressive, it may not be possible for this person to make it work. They just may end up with whoever because it's easy. And they may also feel more comfortable being with someone that they're not actually that attracted to, because then they don't have to put their heart at risk. And I feel like this person is very terrified of their heart being crushed and of what they would do if that ever happened. Yeah, let me get into some song cards for you. Pile number 2. So we want to know, what is the future of this connection for pile number 2? So we got Death by a Thousand Cuts. Okay, that's a breakup song. So vulnerable, Selena Gomez. That's what this person is so afraid of, being vulnerable. They hate that. They can't stand that. Someday, The Strokes. Wow. All of Me Wants All of You, Sufjan Stevens. Let's see. This one is Bluebeard, Band of Horses. Lover, Taylor Swift. Moi Je Joue, Bridget Bardot. And let's get maybe 1 or 2 more. Pillow Talk, Zayn. And 5 Years Time, Noah and the Whale. And I love that we got 5 Years Time. We got Someday by The Strokes, because I really feel like that sums up this person's vibe or mentality, which is kind of procrastinating and putting it off. Like, I feel like it's reminding me of that book title, We Can Do Hard Things. I feel like they don't like to do hard things. I feel like they don't like to do anything that requires them to get out of their comfort zone. And so they may procrastinate in life. They may really put things off. And they may even tell themselves like narratives like, oh, I'm just going to randomly run into them one day. I'm just going to somehow, I'll be at the coffee shop and they'll be there, or they're going to message me, or they're going to be missing me and they're going to come back to me and they're going to be begging me, and telling themselves all these kind of crazy stories about you and what you're thinking and you missing them. And I feel like it's almost like a part of them that doesn't believe it, but they tell themselves it anyway because it makes them feel better. Because deep down inside, I do feel like there's some shame here about like, how did I mess this up so bad? How did I ruin everything? Like, I could have fixed this. I could have done a good job. And instead I janked it up. I ruined it. And I didn't step up to the plate like I needed to. And deep down inside, I feel like as much as this person may gaslight themselves and others and say like, well, what was I supposed to do? They know they could have fixed it. They know they could have stepped up to the plate. And there may even be some shame about some cowardice. We literally got the courage card. And I feel like that's what was missing. Like, they knew they needed to step up to the plate. Some of them may have had really deep feelings, or they may have really deep feelings now, but it's almost like, how sometimes you can want something so bad, but you still ruin it. Like, you could have a huge paper due in college, and it's almost like the more intense that paper is, the bigger part of your grade it is, the more important it is for you, the more you may procrastinate it and put it off. And then that paper that like you don't care about in the course that you don't care, it's not your major, it's not a big deal to you, and it's not that much of your grade, you could probably write that thing in like an hour and be like, yeah, it's done, whatever. But in a weird way, counterintuitively, the more you care about that paper, the more integral it is to your success, the more you might screw it up and be like, I can't do it. Oh my God, I'm afraid. Like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start it on Wednesday, because it's freaking you out. It's stressing you out. And I feel like this person almost has that vibe with you, where they may literally have issues with anxiety. They may literally have issues with not being able to self-regulate and like janking things up in their life the more they care about it, So like having trouble securing a job, or having trouble when, there's some tough thing they need to do and they need to take care of, and it's like a big deal and they end up ruining it. And I feel like they kind of did that with you. So I feel like in a way, some of them don't even like, if this is like a past relationship, they don't even like to think about you, because it does bring up those feelings of failure, and they know deep inside that they didn't handle it right. They didn't handle it correctly. And I feel like they do mope around about you, because we got a lot of kind of sad love songs like Bluebeard and what was the other song? All of Me Wants All of You by Sufjan Stevens. Very intense love songs. And I feel like if you had been together with this person, It's funny because I feel like they do spend a lot of time lying to themselves and gaslighting themselves and maybe telling themselves like, yeah, I don't care that much, whatever, you know. But deep down inside, they know how much they cared. They know how intensely they felt. But they also like to rewrite their narrative. They don't like to dwell on it. They like to pretend that it wasn't happening. You know how sometimes you can talk to someone and they had a really traumatic childhood, but if you're like, oh yeah, so that must have been really hard. Like, it sounds like your mom was really difficult. They'll be like, no, what? No, my mom was fine. No, I had a fine childhood. You're like, but I thought you know, had to go into foster care for a while because your mom neglected you. And they're like, yeah, but my mom's awesome. And they won't even go there because it's too painful and it connects with their inner child too much and it hits too much of a chord. So they just lie and live in delusion to themselves of like, everything was fine. And I feel like sometimes this person does that with you. Like, even if they bring you up mentally, a thought of you comes up, they may be like, I don't care about pile two, whatever. But if this was a painful breakup that happened a while ago, like, it did affect them, but they don't even like to go there mentally. They just like to pretend, and they may like to seek out relationships with people that are easier. So again, if you are currently dealing with this person, they may be someone that you're like, what is this person doing? I know they have a crush on me. I know they like me. So why aren't they stepping up to the plate? Why aren't they pursuing me? Why aren't they asking me out? And that could be why, because it's like, it's easier to deal with other people than it is to deal with you, because the fear of rejection with you is really hard and it's really high, and it's maybe a lot easier with someone else that they just don't care that much about. Let me get into, they don't like being vulnerable, like the Selena Gomez song. They do not like that. Let's get into these cards. So what is going to be the future of this connection for pile 2 spirit? Ooh. Let's see. 7th chakra archangel Uriel. Okay, and he rules the crown chakra. And like I said, I feel like a lot of you guys may be communicating with this person mainly through the crown chakra because they are so afraid to send you those texts. So they just may think of you a lot at night. You feel like there's a lot of thoughts of them coming through. 5th chakra archangel Gabriel. So that is the throat chakra. And again, we also had the Prince of Swords and Knight of Swords. So when we have the, you know, throat chakra coming through, the Knight of Swords, those are both cards about communication. Those are both cards about wanting to reach out. I feel like this person does want to reach out, but again, they may question themselves. They may hold themselves back. They may even communicate or reach out to you, but in a way that like plays it off and acts like, hey, I'm just like, I wanted to send you this meme, or like, I'm liking your stuff on Instagram. But you're like, okay, do you care? Like, you're not talking about your feelings. Like, this is very surface level. I feel like they definitely think all the time about like sending you the text, reaching out to you, talking to you, but then they hold themselves back. Let's see. What is the future of this connection? A lot of angels. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, so 3rd eye, so psychic, a lot of psychic chakras coming through. So there definitely seems like there's a connection on the astral plane, and I feel like that's where y'all communicate more rather than on the physical. We also got broken heart, which doesn't surprise me, because to be honest, the future of this connection, it doesn't seem to me like, unless this person works through, gets some therapy, like is willing to do the hard work, which I don't think they love hard work. It seems unlikely that they're suddenly going to step up to the plate and be really functional and commit and do what they need to do, because they're just so scared. They're dealing with so much stuff on their own. But like I said, this could be a connection that you guys feel on the astral plane. And that could also be why this person has such a hard time making sense of it, is because they might be like, I don't get it. Like, why do I care so much about this person? Why do I think of them all the time? Why are they on their mind? With the Prince of Swords, you could be on their mind all the time. They could just be thinking of you all the time. But with with all these angel cards dealing with the high level psychic chakras, this could be something where you dream of them, they dream of you, they think of you, you're listening to the radio and a bunch of songs pop up that remind you of them. And that's kind of their way of reaching out and talking to you, because their human self isn't capable of that. Their human self isn't capable of being that vulnerable. So their higher level self is the one doing that and reaching out to you in that way. And you are like, why can't I stop thinking about this person? This is crazy, because they're thinking about you so much. And yeah, they don't understand it either. Let me get into some astrodites for you. Pile number too. So what is the future of this connection? We get Aquarius, the moon, and the 11th house, which is Aquarius. Let me spin this again because you know I hate the same energy. Okay. So we have Leo. So interesting. So we have Leo, the moon, and the 11th house. So Leo is an interesting energy. That's actually sharing an axis with Aquarius. So it's the 5th to 11th house axis. And I do feel like for you guys, one of the issues of that axis is kind of like your identity, whether it's more of a solo identity, a group identity, how you serve the collective. And I do feel like this person's in more of kind of that selfish energy. They may also be very concerned with their reputation, with how other people perceive them, with other people's awareness of them. That's one of the concerns of that axis as well. I feel like they're very ego oriented, you know, and they're very afraid of being hurt. This could be low vibrational Leo energy. Again, a high vibrational Leo can be so warm, so generous, and super brave. It is the lion, so it can be very, very brave. But a low vibrational Leo can be someone that is so fragile. They are so worried about what people are going to say to them, kind of like a celebrity that is hyper concerned with like their reputation, and they're freaking out because someone said something rude about them on Twitter, and people are like, don't you have better things to do than worry about some random person on Twitter? But like that low vibrational Leo will have you stressing and freaking out because, you know, the reputation, the ego can be very fragile. And I feel like with this person, they are so desperately afraid of what you would say, of any rejection. The 5th house that Leo rules can also be short-term flings, so not necessarily long-term relationships that we see in the 7th house. So I feel like for you guys, this could also be someone that has a lot of those short-term flings, and they may also feed off in the way Leo can, kind of that adulation from others. So they may be prioritizing those people that flatter them, those people that make them feel good, rather than those deep relationships that require them to be emotionally vulnerable and honest. So this could be someone who seeks out a lot of short-term relationships, seeks out kind of connections with random people that they're not going to have to go that deep. They're not going to have to talk about their feelings, their past, their childhood, their traumas. They're not going to have to really open their heart up, and they can just feel like the fun energy of the 5th house of like, we're having a great time, we're partying, and this person really likes me. This person has a huge crush on me. They think I'm hot. They think I'm sexy, and I love it, you know? So yeah, it could be someone who's kind of thin-skinned in that way. Then we have the moon. The moon is our family, our closest friendships, our home, and it also is the mother. I wouldn't be surprised if this person has a mother wound in some way, like they have some kind of trauma with their mom, or they have some kind of hang-up that has to do with their childhood. Moon is also memory. So if this is a past relationship that you guys broke up, or it's from a while ago, trust me, this person replays your memories a lot. And moon is also the astral plane. And it can be a very delusional place, like, you know, sitting alone in your room listening to Lana Del Rey songs. Lana is also a Cancer, by the way, which of course the moon rules. So, you know, actually there's so many Cancers dominate in songwriting. If you look at so many of the top songwriters, they're Cancer suns, moons, sometimes ascendants or Mercuries, but there's so much Cancer. And I think that's because, you know, Cancers really understand that kind of dreamy, romantic, like crying about your feelings vibe. And there is an energy where it can be self-indulgent. Of course, it can be a purging, a beautiful release, tapping into a deeper level of your emotions, but it can also be that like overly indulgent. I'm in crying in my room for 3 days and I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm just wallowing in my pain and I'm just sitting around moping and crying. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes this person does that. Like they may tell themselves a sob story about this connection and tell themselves about how, you know, I was done so badly. And it's like, were you done badly? Like, is anything, or I love this person so much and I don't understand why we can't be together, but they never asked you out. They never made a move. So it's like, okay, you know, where is the active energy here? Where is the energy of taking control and doing something? Moon is very receptive. It's a feminine energy. So if a guy has a ton of moon energy, that can be a guy who's very not in his masculine and who is like waiting for the girl to take the lead, and you know, he doesn't really know what to do. The moon is the mom, so it can be that almost little kid energy that's waiting for mommy to come in and like take care of him, you know. So if it's a man, it can be a man who hasn't really stepped into his grown-up masculine and is very dependent on the woman and her agency and not really willing to step up and like take control and be that Saturnian or that sun energy that's like the daddy masculine, the grown-up masculine. He wants the woman to be the grown-up feminine, but he doesn't want to step into the grown-up masculine. You know what I mean? Then we also have the 11th house, Aquarius. That's a house of your friends, hopes and dreams as well. And it's also kind of where we can develop a reputation, not as much as the 10th house, but it's like, you know, how a lot of people think of you because you're in a group or because a lot of people know you, a lot of acquaintances that maybe they're not your best friends, but you know, you see them every day and they have some image of you. So I feel like this person is more concerned with image. Again, it shares that axis with Leo. So I feel like this person is more, they may even be more comfortable because the 11th house Aquarius energy is more of those casual connections. It's not where we have our inner circle. It's where we have our acquaintances, friends that we're not as tight with, that they don't know all our deepest secrets. We may see them at parties and we chat with them. We make small talk, but they don't know our deep soul. And I feel like this person is very much more comfortable with those kinds of connections, kind of like small talk and keeping things a little shallow rather than going deep. And there may have been something about you that really threatened them because they felt like you saw through to their soul and they weren't really comfortable with that. So that is what I have for you. Pile number 2. I really hope that resonates. If it did, make sure to give this reading a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. That really helps. And if you want to see more of my content, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. There are over 100 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon. And you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. I just posted a reading all about your 2024 wrap-up and everything you're taking with you into 2025 as a result of the lessons you learned last year. But there is so much content to choose from and new readings get posted all the time. And you also get to be the first to see my YouTube videos. They always get posted over there way early. So if that sounds good to you and you want to join me on Patreon, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description. And I would love to see you there. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can book a half-hour session, a full hour-length session. You can have it be pre-recorded or live. You can have it focus on astrology, channeling, mediumship, something else. Oh, tarot, of course. That's kind of the point of the channel. So you get to really customize your session. You can do a combination. If that sounds good to you, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon for another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the 2 of Pentacles, the Justice card, the 10 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like the energy I'm getting is this person really likes you. They may be debating how to step forward, how to approach you, or if you're in a relationship, debating some major decision, but there is a very long-term potential here with the 10 of Pentacles and the Justice card. The Justice card can actually indicate marriage. It's connected with the sign of Libra, which is marriage relationships and is ruled by Venus. So definitely can indicate long-term love, long-term commitment, and combined with the 10 of Pentacles, which shows a family, a grandson with his child, and then his grandkid. It can really indicate someone that wants something long-term, and you guys could be creating like a family together. You guys could be building a marriage or something that leads to that. I do feel like with the 2 of Pentacles combined with the 9 of Wands, one of the things this person may be worrying or kind of like on the fence about, they may be feeling there's a lot of competition and wondering how they stack up. Combined with the King of Pentacles being reversed, they could be kind of insecure about their level or status or their ability to provide or do something for you. So it could be kind of freaking them out that like they think you deserve the world, or they feel that a lot of other people really like you. They feel like you probably have a million options and they're wondering if they can actually even compare. I feel like this person, I'm getting this energy that it's almost like I want to do things right, you know? I don't want to approach you in a janky way. I don't want to approach you and not be able to take you out to the nice place to eat. Like, I feel like this person really wants to make a good impression on you. And I feel like this person really cares about your feelings, your experience of things. If you're in a relationship with this person, they definitely could have the intention to be with you long term. Some of them could even be debating on, like, how do I propose? How do I move things forward? How do I make them happy? If you're watching this when it gets released in late January, then this person could be wondering or debating about, like, okay, what am I going to do for Valentine's Day, you know, or what am I going to do for their birthday, or what am I going to do for our holidays in the summer, or whatever. I feel like they definitely want to do everything for you and bring a lot to the table, but they're also kind of nervous about their ability to do that and how much they bring for you. I feel like they do put you up on a pedestal, see you as absolutely amazing, and they just want to kind of be their best version of themselves for you. With the Ten of Pentacles, long term, this relationship could have an outcome or a future where they provide for you, they take care of you, and they could be quite generous with you as well. The Ten of Pentacles can talk about material wealth and material prosperity and success. So they could be someone that could be very generous and could be even willing to, like, shower you with gifts or pay for you or take care of you. Or there could just be a financial component to this relationship where, like, they take care of other things and that allows you to focus more on your career. So maybe they do more of the work at home, or they kind of like allow you to focus on your job because you feel like you can really trust them. But I do feel like this person is very, if you're not in a relationship with this person, they may be very nervous about how to approach you and very much measuring themselves up to everyone else because they feel like you get a lot of attention. I feel like they see you as like a 10. Like, they see you as so desirable and they see other people as very into you. Like, I feel like when you go out in public, you may not even be aware, but this person might be like, oh my God, that person's checking them out. I feel like that guy's looking at her and that guy, and oh my gosh, like, no one else better come up to my girl, you know? So they may be kind of protective of you or just feel like, wow, I really got a prize with pile number 3 and I need to make sure that I, like, do everything right. They may really be taking time to plan the logistics with the Two of Pentacles, worrying and trying to handle things correctly. And with the Justice card, they definitely could be thinking of making this a long-term connection. And the Justice card does connect through with marriage, and it can be signing, like, legal contracts and signing, you know, joining with someone on a legal level, which is really what marriage is. Yeah, I feel like this person, you know, they are very impressed by you. They are very like, wow, pile number 3 is exactly what I'm looking for. Pile number 3 has got a lot, you know, going on, a lot that this person is just really, like, thrilled with. And like I said, they could see you with long-term potential. They could see you as someone they want to be with long-term. That could even be if there is a holdup and they haven't asked you out. That could be why, because they're like, I don't want to jank this thing up. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to approach them and not be able to afford to take them out to the nice restaurant. So we have to go to, like, some janky little fast food place. So they may stress about their ability to impress you. And that may be the only thing holding them back. But I do feel like long term, this person has an energy that's very committed, very, like, willing to take on a challenge. They're not coming through as super scared or super, like, freaking out. It's just more, I feel like they're weighing all the options. They're kind of like taking it all in. So I do feel like sooner or later this person would probably approach you and would step up to the plate and would put themselves out there. Let me get into some of these cards for you. Pile number 2. So we want to know, what is the future of this connection for pile number 2? So we got healing. This one is commitments. Yes, definitely commitment. And like I said, we see that with the Justice card, which is connected with Libra energy. Libra rules the 7th house of literally marriage and commitment. Let's see what other cards we're going to get for pile number 3. What is the future of this connection? What is the future of this connection? So we got closure. Okay. This one is willpower and animals. So you guys could even be, adopting an animal. You know, of course, that is something that is often a hallmark of a long-term relationship that has longevity in it, whether it's having a family with a child or having like a dog together, adopting a dog or adopting a cat or whatever. There definitely could be that long-term, like we're sharing a house together. We are building this future and we're getting pets and we are moving in together or whatever. I feel like as well with the willpower card, what's coming through is if there are any delays in this connection, if this person hasn't stepped up to the plate and asked you out, a big reason could be not that this person is afraid, not that this person is procrastinating or they're freaking out or anything negative, but more that I feel like they want it to all be really well done for you. They want to step up to the plate. If you're in a relationship with this person and you're wondering, like, okay, but when are they going to propose? Or when are they going to, do this milestone? When are we going to move in together? Or when am I going to meet their parents or whatever? I feel like this person is a little bit of a perfectionist. They don't want to screw things up. They want to be as good for you as possible. And that's a big thing when you guys move to the next level. I feel like one thing about this person is they really will try to bring their best behavior. They really will try to step up to the plate for you and to be as good as possible, because I feel like they do want to be that best version and they worry about wanting to show up for you in a way that's valuable for you and adds to your life. I feel like sometimes they worry that they don't do enough of that, or wondering, why would pile number 3 even be with me? Like, they're so amazing, or they have so many options. And I feel like they definitely want to make sure that you're impressed by whatever they're bringing to the table, that they are not showing up in a way that you don't really appreciate, So they may be that person that very much overthinks and kind of thinks about, okay, so for Valentine's Day, her favorite food is this. So let me make an appointment at this place, or let me make sure I have planned this out, or these are her favorite flowers. And they may be very, very intentional and kind of an overthinker, kind of like a, let me get all those details in place. Or if you're like, okay, but it's been a few years and why haven't you proposed? They could be shopping for that perfect ring, and they could really worry about making sure that it fits you right and that, it's the exact stone you want and it's the exact shape you want. I feel like when they do things, they really like to do things right. And they definitely try to make sure that it's something you're actually going to be happy with, because again, they see you as having so many options. If this is like a past connection and you guys are no longer in contact, with that closure card coming through, I'm getting the vibe that some of them may look back and really take stock of their own flaws and where they messed up. And they may look at things and be like, yeah, I was the problem here, or that was really my fault. And I feel like they kind of have a very mature perspective on things. They're not looking at it through the lens of immaturity or self-righteousness, or like, I didn't do anything wrong, it's their fault. I feel like this person has worked on themselves and tried to grow. So even if they did mess things up, they may be at a place now where they're really able to unpack that and notice all the things they did wrong. I also feel like this person is coming through as very grateful to you for all the things you've done for them and the fact that you have really helped them and kind of cheered them on. Sometimes I feel like they may have even been too complacent or too much of a worrywart about kind of like, okay, I got to get everything right. Kind of like that time when maybe you have a big paper due and you, instead of writing it, you just start thinking about it all the time and worrying about it. And then you realize like, oh my God, I needed to do this paper like a week ago. And now it's like deadline and I haven't done it. And I probably would have been better off if I just started it, but I was overthinking so much, wanting it to be perfect. And that was almost my downfall. So sometimes they could be complacent, or this person could drag their feet and sometimes be slower than they need to be. But I do feel like they have this very strong intention. It's almost like they take their time, but it's not because they don't care. It's because I feel like they just worry about not wanting to mess everything up. Let's get into some song cards for you, pile number 3. So let's see what song cards want to come through for pile 3 for the future of this connection. So we got Something by the Beatles, okay. Sunflower, Post Malone. I Summon You, Spoon. White Mustang, Lana Del Rey. Door, Caroline Polachek. And I Thought I Saw Your Face Today, She and Him. Cardigan, Taylor Swift. And let's get one more song. This one is Wait For Me, Hall & Oates. Okay, Wait For Me makes a lot of sense. Because another energy that's coming through, maybe there's multiple energies in this pile, but I feel like this person could be, for some of you guys, I know I said like they're not complacent, but some of them could kind of be complacent. And I feel like for them, a lot of it is just this almost need for perfectionism, sometimes overthinking and worrying about something rather than actually taking action, kind of being in their head, being maybe trapped in that Two of Pentacles energy, where they constantly weigh their options, or even Two of Swords energy, where they're constantly going back and forth about their options, trying to figure out what they should do instead of actually taking action. So if this person has been frustrating you because they haven't stepped forward and you feel like you've been waiting for them for a really long time, or you are like, okay, what's going on? Do you not care? Or you're in a relationship and sometimes you're like, okay, are you not stepping up? I feel like sometimes this person could almost like be trapped in inaction because they sometimes overthink or worry too much, or they kind of don't know what to do. So they end up just like not moving forward with anything. But I do feel like this person has those intentions. They do care about you quite a lot. They do like you quite a lot, and they do feel very grateful for you. I feel like they do see you as very beautiful. And like I said, just a huge blessing in their life, with Sunflower by Post Malone and even Cardigan by Taylor Swift. I love that line where she says, and when I felt like an old cardigan, you picked me up and said I was your favorite. So this person may have felt like there was a very healing energy that you brought through into their life. But sometimes I feel like they kind of cripple themselves and don't actually, like, they may even, this may be a problem with school or work, where sometimes they drop the ball. I feel like they may ruminate a lot. They may think of you a lot. You might be in their head quite a lot. But then when it comes to actually doing something, they drop the ball. When it comes to the physical reality, they drop the ball. So this person may be very connected to you on the astral plane. We got Door by Caroline Polachek, and to me, that's always a card of spiritual connection, where you feel very spiritually attuned with someone. You may have dreams of them. You may feel connected with them on the astral plane. But when it comes to the physical realm, that may be where they drop the ball. I feel like in a way, I'm also getting this vibe that sometimes this person may feel too comfortable with you, or they may feel like they have all the time in the world. Kind of like, you know what, pile 3 will still be there. Like, I have time. I'm going to figure this out, and you might be like, dude, I moved on, or I'm dating someone else. And you may still feel like this person connects to you, tries to contact you on the astral plane. Like, you're minding your business and you're trying to go to bed, and suddenly you're like, whoa, bombarded with thoughts of this person, or you're listening to the radio and suddenly it's a bunch of songs that remind you of this person. And you're like, okay, like, what the heck's going on? I haven't heard from you in months. Or like, we dated 2 years ago. Or this person, sometimes if they're a partner, sometimes it may feel like they drop the ball, or they just assume, like, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to get you something for Christmas, or, yeah, I'm going to propose eventually, just like, give me my time. And sometimes you might be like, okay, I don't want to be on your timeline. Like, pick it up, step it up. Let's go. Let's make this happen. And I feel like sometimes that is their complacency. It's almost like they just think, I have all the time in the world and it's going to figure itself out, and eventually we'll come together. And sometimes that could be kind of frustrating dealing with this person. It's almost like they have so much faith in your relationship and they enjoy your energy so much on the astral plane that sometimes they may not realize that they have to make it happen in the physical. So this could be an energy where it may be helpful to block them on the astral plane if they're getting lots of access to you there, and they may feel like, I don't really need to step up to the physical realm because I can contact them anytime I want on the astral plane. I can connect with them anytime, and I just have to think of them and I feel their energy. And so sometimes you might feel like, oh my God, like, this is frustrating. Leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to live my life. And if that's the case, it may be helpful to block them or do a cord cutting ritual on the astral plane, so they're no longer able to kind of siphon off your energy that way. And I feel like they would almost feel a little bereft and lost. Or again, if you're dating this person, this could even be someone who's on the fence about, should I propose? Like, I see this connection with them, I see this long-term thing, but also like, I don't know, and I can't make my mind up, and I'm indecisive. So this could be one of those connections where it's actually helpful to do an ultimatum, or to say like, I'm breaking up with you because you can't make your mind up, and we've been dating for 5 years. And like, if you're not going to propose, I got to go on to the next. And this person may be like shocked by that, because I feel like they feel like, I have all the time in the world, and love should be gentle, love should be easy, love should be relaxed. And it's almost like they don't realize that sometimes it's reminding me of that TikTok sound that's like, do you know you have 30 minutes? Where sometimes they need to have like a little sense of urgency, like, come on, let's go. I mean, I know this. I'm a Pisces, and like my boyfriend is a Capricorn, and he's always like, okay, but did you send the email? Okay, but did you do that? Or like this time thing. And I'm always like, oh, whatever, like, I'll send it later. It's okay. Who cares? But it's sometimes helpful to have someone be like, no, do it now. Or like, no, we need to take care of this. Or let's just address it now. Sometimes you need that reminder that like time is limited, and we have to take care of things. And it's not enough just to think of it and dream of it, but you need to actually do it in reality. So yeah, I feel like sometimes with this person, they kind of put things off for the future, or just think, no, I have time, whatever. I feel like their feelings are clear, like their feelings are very strong for you, but they may be scared of commitment, or sometimes they may get freaked out by like obligation, and sometimes they may run from it, and may feel easier to be in that place of, I don't really have any ties, I can do what I want. And sometimes when you're like, no, I need help with this, they may get kind of freaked out by that. Let's get into some more not song cards, oracle cards for you. Pile number 3. So we want to know, what is the future of this connection for pile 3, Spirit? Oh my gosh, contract. So more of that Libra energy that we saw with the Justice card. Let's see what cards we're going to get for pile number 3. So we got financial constraints, cornucopia, and appreciation, and deceit. This is interesting because it kind of echoes how we got like the 10 of Pentacles, and then we also got the King of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like this person, like some of them, they may really want to kind of shower you in gifts, take care of you, look after you, and be this kind of champion for you. But also there may be financial realities that like they kind of can't control. They may not be at the place where they can financially provide for you, take you out, do those things. Again, I feel like there's a disconnect sometimes between their feelings for you, their energy for you that they have, and the actual physical steps they take. So it may be that like they just don't have enough money to take you out to the restaurant that they really want to take you out to. You know, they may want to be able to show up for you and buy you a really nice gift and take you out, or pick you up and impress you in like a Lamborghini, and they think that that's what you're worth, but they just don't have it like that. That may be another hold up, is kind of like, I'm not sure, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can impress them, and that could be a source of insecurity for them, or even just a hold up in their life, not being where they want to be, and that reducing their confidence or their ability to really be present in relationships. It could also be tying through to, again, this kind of procrastinating energy that they give off, where I feel like they kind of avoid challenges sometimes. Maybe they want something but they don't take it on. Like maybe they want to be making more money, but they just tell themselves, oh well, like whatever, I'm just gonna get through it, and who cares, and I'll just make do with what it is, instead of like being like, let me step up to the plate, let me work really hard, let me make this happen. This could be a complacency this person has overall. But with the contract card, again, long term, I really do feel like there's a potential for a long-term relationship. There's a potential for marriage. Libra is the 7th house of marriage and long-term commitment. So I feel like this person, they see you in that way. There just could sometimes be that energy of getting too complacent, almost like when you've been in a marriage for 40 years and you know your person's preferences and you know their tastes. And instead of like worrying about impressing them, you're just like, oh yeah, whatever, we won't do anything for Valentine's Day. I'm not going to get them anything. I'm just going to we can just have a night in on the couch. And maybe your partner is like, kind of, I want flowers. I want some chocolates. I want you to impress me. I want you to take me out. So that's the only thing that could be frustrating, is sometimes this person may just assume you guys are on the same page and sometimes not realize that they need to show off. They need to show up. They need to impress you. They need to bring their A game. This is not the time to just be slouching around and bring your B game and just assuming that's good enough. I feel like sometimes this person could almost get too comfortable if you're in a long-term relationship with them. And I feel like they do really care about you, but sometimes they have trouble communicating that, or they just don't feel the need to, where they're like, oh, pile number 3 knows how beautiful they are. Pile number 3 knows how special they are. They know they're amazing. They don't need me to tell them. They don't, I'm sure they don't care that much. And you're like, no, I want to hear, let me know. Tell me those things. Show up for me. I feel like sometimes they just assume you guys have this unspoken connection, this deep connection with words, with or without words. No words need to be said. We feel this so deep, so I don't really need to tell you directly. And you might be like, no, I want to know. Tell me, show me, show up, make it clear. And they just feel more comfortable, kind of like, no, I don't need to do that. They already know. Trust me, we have something that goes beyond words. Because again, I do feel like they feel this connection on the astral plane. They feel like they can reach out to you and talk to you when it comes to the spiritual realm. They don't necessarily feel like they have to text you. And they probably assume that you already know these things. Let me get into some astro dice for you. Pile number 3. Oh, okay. So we got the 8th house of Scorpio. Then we have Aries, aka the 1st house, and Saturn, which rules Capricorn. So we have Scorpio, Aries, Capricorn energy coming through. 8th house is the house of shared resources as well as sex. So this person could be very sexually attracted to you. 8th house is also where we really get some depth in those relationships. We really link in with someone on a very, very deep level. And I do feel like this person feels very, very linked with you. It's also a psychic energy ruling the 8th house. It's water, so it can be that spiritual psychic connection. And I do feel like this person feels like you guys have that for sure. They may sometimes even assume, I don't have to tell you this. You probably already know. They could be super sexually attracted to you. The 8th house is also where we share resources with someone. So again, this futures of your relationship may be with them taking care of you financially and wanting to pay for you, wanting to be generous with you, that kind of a thing. And they may worry about their ability to do that because the 8th house can be those financial concerns in relationships. So they may worry that they don't have it like that right now. They can't take you out to the place they want to take you. They can't provide for you in the way that they would like. And then we have Aries energy. I feel like this person is almost lacking some Aries energy, some kind of get up and go, let's just do it type of energy. So the 1st house that Aries rules is all about the self, your identity, the impression you make on others. I do think they see you as very beautiful. Aries also rules the face in astrology. They may see you as having a very beautiful face. Excuse me. But I do feel like sometimes, again, they need more of that Aries energy. They need to just be more bold and just aggressive and realize that there's a time limit here. Sometimes I feel like they just kind of fall back into oh, whatever, being kind of chill and complacent. Actually very Libra, which opposes Aries on the astrological wheel, and they share an axis, and we've gotten so much Libra through this reading. And sometimes they may need to have more of that Aries energy that's just aggressive, getting after it, doing it. And sometimes I think they kind of lack that, and they kind of ask you or expect you sometimes to take the lead, and that can be frustrating. Then we have Capricorn energy. Capricorn can be very pessimistic, and it's also an energy that really likes to think about things and kind of process it before they just rush in. They like to be strategic, and I feel like sometimes this person may not even be fully just procrastinating. They may be just being strategic about things. They could be thinking about things a little too much, where sometimes you're okay, can you just go? Can you just do it? You just take action. And instead they're kind of stuck in that rumination mode, planning mode. Let me think about this. Let me plan this out. Let me organize my thoughts. And sometimes that could be a little frustrating for you, pile 3. But that is what I have for you guys. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. That really helps the channel. And if you want to see more of my content, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. There are over 100 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon. And you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. I just posted a reading all about a summation of 2024, all the lessons you learned in 2024 and how you're carrying those lessons with you into 2025, how that's going to affect your year ahead. So that's a really great reading, but there are so many different readings over on Patreon. Like I said, over 100. And then you also get to be the first to watch my YouTube videos way earlier than everyone else. So if that sounds good to you and you want to join me on Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps and the comments and the description. And I would love to see you there. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship, a combination, whether you would like it to be pre-recorded or live, you get to customize your time with me, so it's the perfect session for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon for another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 4, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Wheel, the Queen of Wands, the Death card reversed, the Lady, aka the Empress, and the Feralt, aka the Temperance card. So wow, what is coming through right off the bat is a huge amount of sexual attraction. This person sees you as incredibly beautiful, incredibly attractive. You got the Queen of Wands and the Empress, which means this person sees you as very sexy. You may be literally their type. You know, if they like brunettes, maybe you have brown hair. You know, if they like blondes, you might have blonde hair. If they have a certain thing about, they love a certain kind of nose or a certain body type, whatever. I feel like you tip off every box for them. Like you almost fulfill a fantasy for them and they can't get enough. So like if you were to see a picture of their celebrity crush, you might look exactly like their celebrity crush. You might be a doppelganger or something very similar where people are like, oh my gosh, I totally see that. Like there's something you guys have in common. And I feel like with this person, they are going to be constantly attracted to you. The future of this relationship, I feel like this is the thing. This person will want something long term with you. They will want something very permanent with you because what I'm getting is also an energy of kind of possessiveness. You have the Death card coming out reversed. The Death card is ruled by Scorpio in tarot. So it feels like they could be kind of possessive. They could be kind of that eighth house, like, I want everything from you type of energy. You know, I can't get enough of you. I feel like for them, they are kind of constantly in a state of like, I can't believe I got this person. I can't believe I'm with them. So as long as they're able to manage that energy and not direct it in like a dysfunctional way, you know, sometimes when someone feels like they're dating someone out of their league, they can have two reactions. One being, let me put them on a pedestal, treat them amazing and win them over. Two being, let me try to bring down their confidence and self-esteem. Obviously, we don't want that second one. But I do feel like, so for the higher vibrational people that picked this pile, they are just going to be obsessed with you. Even if you guys break up, you would be the one that got away. You would be the one that they can't get enough of and they think of you every day and they check your socials and they kind of stalk you low key. I feel like in a way there is an energy where this person doesn't fully want you to know how much they like you. And in a way they feel like you have this power over them, you know? It's not a normal relationship of like, oh yeah, I like this person and we have a lot in common and maybe we have similar backgrounds or we come from similar families or we're got the same career, same financial goals. Like that's out the window. Like this person is not thinking of anything like that. I don't think they even could if they wanted to because they're so kind of transfixed by you. Like they're so obsessed. Like for them, it's like all they can think of is this huge level of attraction, physical attraction. The Queen of Wands is super sexual. She's the most sexual of the Queen cards. She has her legs open in most depictions of her on tarot decks. So there's a very sexual quality to the Wands. And I feel like with this person, they will think you're amazing in bed. like it's like sexual fantasy for them. It's like a sexual dream or best I ever had. That's what's coming up, that song from Drake, Best I Ever Had, where I feel like this person kind of can't believe you're real at times, or just might become, like I said, obsessed, may become, and there is that energy where this person could be a little controlling, or even this could be an energy of someone that like they want to lock it down right away. Like you might be like, oh no, we're keeping things casual, or, I don't know if I see a future with you. And they're very possessive, or they're very like, okay, but what are we? Let's have this talk. Let's get exclusive. Or even if they're like, no, I don't want to be exclusive, and they're playing games, they're still stalking you. They're still possessive of you. They're still kind of like checking your socials and trying to keep track of you. I feel like this person, like there is that energy of like, I can't get enough. Almost, I'm feeling a little out of control, Like that's why I said sometimes they may even resent you and feel like you have this power over them, even though you're not doing anything, because I feel like they feel very out of control. They've never felt this way before. They've never felt so intensely. And I feel like for them, it's kind of scary almost, like, why do I feel this way? I've never experienced this before. But with the Temperance card, like I said, I do not think this is a short-term flash in the pan type of thing. I don't think this is someone that just wants to sleep with you and then ghost, even though they're very sexual. It's like, wow, I want sexual access to this person for the rest of my life. And I don't mean to harp on the sexuality, but that's just what's coming through in this reading. I mean, I wasn't intending this to be like a super sexual tarot reading or anything, but that's what's coming through, is like an intense amount of sexual interest, and that serving as a foundation for this relationship. And Spirit is also bringing up to me twin flames. This may feel like a twin flame relationship. I think sometimes twin flames, soulmates, past life connections, where you are intended to learn from that person. And sometimes the relationship is even intended to be a little volatile, or like I said, it's not that calm, like, oh yeah, we're both accountants and we have a lot in common type of thing. It may feel a little volatile. And in those relationships, a lot of times you are destined to be super attracted to each other, because that's kind of the glue that keeps you coming back and keep going through those lessons and keep taking on that soul work that can be very heavy, because you're just so attracted to this person. So in a way, I feel like you guys could have very entwined destinies, or you're both very touched by this relationship and always remember it. I also feel like this is the kind of relationship where if there was a breakup, this person could maybe never get you out of their mind. They may contact you later, or if they never contact you, they're still thinking of you. Trust me, you're still on their mind for sure. And yeah, like even if they're with someone else, their mind goes back to you. But with the Wheel of Fortune, that's giving me Sagittarius vibes. Of course, it's connected with Sagittarius, and the ninth house, where we learn and we kind of have a very spiritual energy in the ninth house. So I feel like there is that spiritual connection that like underpins this. There's something in this connection that you guys are both supposed to learn from or bring forward into the world. Whether that's like having a child together, which is something you bring forward from the astral plane, a soul that you bring down from the astral plane into the human world, or whether it's something where you guys are both supposed to grow with each other, because I could see this relationship being one that kind of triggers you both, and it's just very intense. Like when you guys see each other, when you guys touch, there may be intense sparks. It may be like immediately when you meet this person, you're immediately kind of like excited, can't stop thinking about them, you're on their mind, and vice versa. I feel like as well, yeah, there could be volatility with the Queen of Wands, because Wands energy does involve some level of fighting, some level of conflict. So that may be something you guys might have to work through a little bit. But with the lady, the Empress, she is generally speaking very rested. She's very relaxed. She's very calm. She's also pregnant, like I said. So that makes sense with what I was channeling, where there may be something you're destined to bring forth into this world together, whether it is a human soul, whether it's something else, whether it's creative inspiration. But there's something that I feel like is very destined or fated or north-south node about this connection. But the lady, the Empress card, she's very rested. She's very pampered. And I do feel like there's an energy where if this person can overcome their shadow and sometimes some resistance to the idea of like, oh my God, I'm so into this person. They have all this power over me. And maybe they might resent that at first. If they can get over that, I feel like they would move into an energy of really treating you well and maybe like pampering you, taking care of you. Like people might say, oh my God, like this person is so into you, or, this person is obsessed, or like I can just tell your boyfriend is so in love with you. And like that just radiates out from him, or something like that. I feel like a lot of people will notice this deep, intense connection that you guys have. And you may feel very connected. Like if you guys get married, you could have chemistry for the rest of your life. You guys could never lose that spark. Like you guys could be 60 and still flirting with each other and still going on dates. And, he's still trying to like grab her butt when they are like heading out the door in the morning. I feel like there's just this intense connection that never goes away. And this person is always very excited about you. Like I said, there's kind of soul work here where you guys might both kind of reveal aspects of yourself that you've never shown to anyone else, or even layers of yourself that maybe you would be embarrassed, or like, that's my bad side. Like I got too mad about this, or I ended up overreacting about this, or you find yourself being really passionate with the other. Like it's reminding me of, I saw a TikTok where a girl was like, when you catfish your boyfriend so many times from fake accounts that he just knows it's you now. And I thought it was really funny because, yeah, like, of course, people can be jealous in relationships. I'm not saying that's healthy, but it is kind of funny that, that can bring that out of you. It's a funny thing to do, I guess. But yeah, I feel like you could have that relationship where you find yourself getting jealous, this person gets jealous, and you're both just like so into each other and so passionate that it's like you can't really control it to a certain extent. But let's get some more cards for you guys. Okay, so what is the future of this connection for pile number 4, Spirit? We want to know the future of this connection. Okay, so we got the Freedom card, fertility coming out again, and that makes a lot of sense, like I said, with the Empress. We also have the Justice card. Yeah, the Empress, the lady. I mean, there is this connection with fertility, and if you don't want to get pregnant, you may have to watch out with this person because there may be just a very fertile quality that you guys both have when you come together. And it may be easy to get pregnant. We also got the Prosperity card, and we also have here New Beginnings. So I feel like one thing about this connection is it feels like you never quite lose your spark. You guys are always very drawn to each other. The Justice card, this isn't a tarot deck, but in tarot connects with Libra, and Libra rules the 7th house of marriages, long-term relationships, to a certain extent as well. It can be a house of hidden enemies. So I'm kind of getting that vibe. It's funny, in Vedic astrology, they believe that the 7th house is a house of enemies and a house of marriage, because a lot of times your biggest enemy is your marriage partner, and they actually think a lot of those enemies come from past lives. So like you choose to marry your enemy in this lifetime, and this is why marriages can be very testing, and sometimes people can argue a lot or they hate their ex, because there is that destiny to kind of trigger each other and push each other, and to kind of sometimes get under each other's skin. And I feel like you guys, you have that vibe. I'm not saying you would fight all the time, but I do feel like there is that vibe where maybe sometimes there could be miscommunications, or maybe sometimes you guys totally don't see 100% eye to eye. But I do feel like you're both working on getting through that. And at the end of the day, it feels like you both have each other's back so intensely. But there definitely could be a baby. We do have, like I said, the fertility card, the Empress. Those are both cards connected to having a child together. So that's something to be aware of. If you're not wanting to get pregnant, you might have to be careful around this person. And again, when there's such a highly sexually charged relationship, of course, that's also how babies come around, from sex and sexuality. So But I do feel like the depth of the connection you guys have, it feels like this person would always have your back. They would always show up for you. Like if you needed them, or if you were going through something really tough, going through a bad time, trust me, this person would show up and be there for you at the drop of a hat. Like they are not going to just drop the ball or say like, oh, whatever, I don't have time for this today, figure it out. I feel like they would always show up for you. And there's also that energy with the Wheel of Fortune and the prosperity card coming out together, where you guys might grow with each other and help each other find financial freedom and financial abundance. You guys could end up really helping each other with career, or there could be a blessing energy around you guys getting together. So you may find that when you're with this person, money comes in more easily and you're able to attract more wealth, attract more blessings, and kind of build a life together. It's interesting because we also have the Wheel of Fortune and the Freedom card, and those cards definitely both have a similar vibe because, again, the wheel is ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very free energy. They don't like to be controlled. They're connected with the ninth house of international travel. So kind of that friend you have that's always like traveling, you never know where they are, and then they suddenly post an Instagram pic from like Croatia or from Bolivia, or they just climbed some mountain somewhere. Like that's Sagittarius energy. So I feel like in a way, you guys could also either travel together, live internationally, or it feels like kind of like partners in crime. Like you guys just get each other. And again, because the relationship is so deep, it's not based on surface level things of like, well, I'm with this person because they have a stable job, or I'm with this person because our families are very similar and we have the same religion and the same culture, or whatever else like that. It's not really based off of appearances or those superficial things. So you can really be your truest, most authentic self with this person. You can really step into whatever level of your deep truth that you have. So if you're like, I really want to move to Thailand, or I really want to travel here, or I really want to start this crazy business that like no one else gets, I feel like this person would back you up on that. This person would be like, yeah, absolutely, like 100%, I got your back. Maybe I'll give you the money for it, maybe I'll help you fund it. And it really does feel like they are, to a certain extent, a big fan of you. Again, there is a low vibrational energy in this pile. I don't want to gloss over that. With that Scorpio death card reversed, this person could be controlling at times. So depending on where they are with their journey and their shadow work, they could be the kind of person that sometimes doesn't want you to be free, and sometimes is like texting you like, where are you? Or turn your location on, or like, who were you dating and who is this picture with on your Instagram? And sometimes that could feel stifling. But if they're able to alchemize that and step out of their low vibrational, kind of controlling eighth house Scorpio energy and trust you, I feel like they really would be your biggest fan. Yeah, your biggest friend and biggest fan, and they have your back. And that's the thing about the eighth house Scorpio energy, is like it can be overly controlling, overly possessive in the low vibrational aspect, but it can also be extremely supportive. And it is that fixed water that is going to be so loyal, that is going to have your back no matter what. You can call them, you can ask them for help, and they will show up for you no matter what's going on. So it really does depend on whether this person is able to alchemize out of that and kind of be more mature or not. Well, let's get into some song cards for you guys for pile 4 about the future of this connection. So we got What Part of Forever, CeeLo Green. Yeah, there's definitely soulmate vibes here for sure. Like this person wants it all. The Only Exception, Paramore. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you have such a strong part in this person's heart. Talking Body, Tove Lo, and again, that sexual energy, High by the Beach, Lana Del Rey. There's a very strong sexual current. Like this person may be so attracted to your body and just so turned on. What is this person's future relationship? Let's see, False God, Taylor Swift, another very, very sexual energy. And then we have So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings, Caroline Polachek, Moi Je Joue, Brigitte Bardot. And we also have Toxic, Britney Spears, and Blue Ain't Your Color, Keith Urban. And let's get one more. So we have Wildest Dreams, Taylor Swift. So, like I said, if y'all break up, I feel like this person is always going to remember you. That line from Wildest Dreams where Taylor says, "You'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down." Like, I feel like this person, no matter what goes down, they are always going to remember you. You are always going to be a major part of their heart. And like I said, there could be a toxic vibe at times with this pile. I feel like both of you guys can kind of trigger the heck out of each other and really bring out each other's shadow parts. But again, there's such an opportunity to alchemize that. Like Teal Swan says that, relationships are our biggest testing ground and our biggest opportunity for growth. And I do agree, because I think a lot of times it can be easy to be like, oh my gosh, I've changed, I've grown, I've alchemized, I'm so mature now. But a relationship can sometimes bring that out. It's easy to feel that way when you're just isolated in your own house with your own space, with your own energy, and it can be harder to maintain that calm and that peaceful, chill vibe when you're with someone all the time, right? And I feel like you guys both bring out such deep emotion in each other, such deep passion, such deep feelings. And again, so many sexual cards. We have Talking Body, False God, So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings, Wildest Dreams, very sexual songs, some of the most sexual songs I have in this. So I feel like, first of all, the sex is going to be amazing no matter what. Whether you guys break up, they'll probably always remember the sex, but they're so attracted to you. And your body type may be exactly their type, their ultimate dream body or whatever. Like they just can't get enough of you, and they find you to be such a turn on. Like you could be minding your business, you could be wearing no makeup, you just woke up, or in some like ratty pair of sweatpants, and this person is like, oh my god, this is the sexiest thing I've ever seen. Like, wow, I can't get enough of them. They are just so drawn to you. Yeah, I feel like for you guys, there's also though this really deep like emotional connection that you guys have. It's not just an only sexual surface level connection. There's also this incredibly intense understanding each other, because you kind of see each other's shadows, that it creates this very deep closeness. And it may feel like a soulmate connection. Like you may feel like you recognize them as soon as you met them, or things just always flowed. Things just always felt really different. I feel like in a way, there's also a calmness between you guys. As much as things can feel frenzied, at a certain point, you also kind of know that you can, like, you both can feel this resonance. You both can feel that you're not going to just get over this person, and they're not just going to get over you. And it's almost like you can always turn to them because you have that solidity. You know that, like, you do something for them that's different than anyone else, and vice versa. They know the same for you. So you end up in a way, if especially there may be a period of initial volatility in this connection and initial like obsession figuring each other out. I feel like also there could be a feistiness in this connection. We have Scorpio energy, we have the Queen of Wands. So there may be a very feisty, like kind of fighting quality, or like toxic, like the song card quality, where sometimes you guys are battling out for who gets to be in control, who gets to be the one calling the shots. And again, with this Sagittarius energy and that freedom card, some of you guys both, it's almost like because this connection is so intense, you may feel this fear of like, I'm losing my freedom, or they may feel this fear of I'm losing my freedom, because it's like, in other connections, like sometimes when you're not that into someone, you're not as bothered if they like go out one night and don't text you. Your emotions aren't as controlled by them. You don't care as much, so you can kind of be free. Even if they don't text you, you're like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm just going to focus on myself. But I feel like with this person, it's just so intense. Your souls are so deeply intertwined that sometimes if they don't text you, they don't hit you up, or they do something that bothers you, it hits you a million times harder. It's just like, oh my God, it's like a soul deep connection. So it becomes a soul wound, and you could get upset about something that with someone else you would be like, oh, I don't care, whatever, it's not a big deal. So again, there could be an energy at first of you guys kind of battling each other out for a battle of wills. And if you're able to overcome that and get through that, I do feel like you guys could end up together for a very long time. But let's get into some more cards for you, pile number 4. So we want to know the future of this connection for pile number 4. So we got Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Woman holding a heart. And then we have the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So it's interesting because we have a bunch of really spiritual cards. I mean, 3 angels, and we also have this anxiety card. So there is this very spiritual connection that you guys have. The sixth chakra is our third eye chakra. So it feels like you have an intuition with each other. You guys have a kind of like sixth sense with each other. You can kind of connect with each other on a soul level, and even if you guys break up, you may feel like you can kind of communicate with them telepathically or whatever. And then we have the second chakra, which is a lower chakra, the base chakra. That goes with our feelings of safety. I feel like in a way, if you guys can get through that volatility, there is a really deep sense of safety that comes through with each other. Like you really know you have each other's back and that you can trust each other. And you really, like, this person can kind of heal that wound in you. If you have an abandonment wound, if you feel like you're not good enough or something, I feel like this person, they always see you as good enough. Even if sometimes they don't react the best always, I feel like they always are seeing the good in you and they always are admiring you from that level. Also with women holding a heart, like if you have been very independent or you have been like, I don't really need anyone, this person could come through to kind of really teach you to open yourself up and to like bring out your heart, bring out your emotions, not to be closed off or walled off or just kind of like doing your own thing, but to really allow yourself to open up to someone. And again, with so many angels coming through, there could definitely be that energy of soulmates. There could definitely be that energy where you guys are destined to really connect with each other and really bring out each other's life lessons and kind of like heal each other on very deep levels. So there could feel like there is a very soul fated and destined energy between you guys. And if you suffer from anxiety or something, again, I feel like this person really will have your back and really will show up for you in a way that does restore your trust. If you felt abandoned in the past, this energy could fix that. So let's get into some astro dice for you. Pile number 4. Okay, so we have the second house, Taurus. Then we also have Leo, and we have Venus, which actually rules over Taurus. So let me spin this one more time just because I hate double energies. And this is Pluto. So we have, wow, all the fixed signs. Well, missing one, but we have Taurus, we have Leo, we have Scorpio, no Aquarius, but all the other fixed signs are here. So fixed energy doesn't change their mind. They make their mind up and that's it. And you can count on it. And like I said, I'm getting a very permanent energy about this connection. Like this person, like I said, they really do have your back. You really can trust them. You really can turn to them and you don't have to worry about them changing their mind or them losing interest or them deciding like, pile number 4 isn't that great. I'm actually into someone else, or I'm going to lie to them, or I'm just going to do what's easy. Like, I feel like in a way, because you guys stick with each other so much, there is that energy of just persistence and like reliance, knowing each other. The second house is also the house of earned income. And also it's a house of luxuries. It's a house of, beautiful things and really nice items. So you guys may accumulate wealth together and there may be this building together. The second house, of course, is ruled by Venus, the planet of love. And I do feel like there's a very deep love here. The second house is also a house where we see what we value. And it's interesting, you have both the financial houses highlighted here, the second house of your own individual earned income, and then the 8th house of someone else's shared resources, which is ruled by Scorpio and Pluto. So yeah, I feel like you guys definitely could have a financial quality to this connection. You guys benefiting financially from being together. And with the 8th house, that can also go into the energy where it's someone else's money. And it can be those relationships that can be a little controlling or possessive or all consuming, because Scorpio energy is very all or nothing. It's very like, I want you, I want all of you. I don't want a slight version of you. I don't want BS. I don't want, you putting on a happy face, but you don't believe it. I want to know the truth and I want you to show me yourself, the most deep version of yourself. That's why Scorpio also rules over sexuality, because it's kind of like the deepest side of yourself that you don't show everyone. So I feel like there is that connection where this person really sees through to your core and your soul, and they won't tolerate anything else than you being completely honest and transparent with them. It's also the house that rules over sexuality, like I said. So again, that highly sexual energy that connects you guys. And then we have Leo energy. I feel like this person kind of encourages you to be the best version of yourself and to really show yourself for who you truly are. You know, they don't want to see you, like, in a way, like I said, if you have traumas with being seen, if you have an issue or a complex with not feeling good enough or not feeling chosen, this person is coming through to clear that karma and to help you process that, because they are going to see you every time. Like, you stand out to them on such a deep level. It's like, if you were in a field of wildflowers, you would be the bright red one that's sticking out to them, you know? Everything else fades away. So if you've had any trauma around not feeling good enough to be seen or feeling like you just fade into the background, this person is definitely coming through to heal that as well. And like I said, it's interesting that all these signs are fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, because the fixed signs are so reliable. You never have to worry about them changing their mind or deciding something else. And I feel like that's the thing that also is very healing about this is, you know, you can come to them, you know, you can rely on them, you know, they have your back, and that it's not BS. They're not just saying that and then they actually don't care. They genuinely do care about you. They genuinely do value you. Also, Leo rules the fifth house of children. So again, this energy with fertility. Some of you guys could be destined to have kids with this person, and bring a soul into this world. And also, Leo, the fifth house, can be the house where we are childlike, and we become kind of almost younger energy, more playful. It's the house of creative hobbies. So in a way, I feel like this person could heal younger versions of you, or a version of you where you always feel like you have to be so perfect or you have to be very serious. And this person is coming through to really make you realize that they kind of love that silly, playful side of you. And when you guys are together, it may feel like you're kind of two kids. Like, I could even see this being like one of those married couples that's together and they have a bunch of kids, but they're kind of always like laughing with each other, and they're still, you know, they still have this playful, youthful energy. They still can make each other laugh. They still can like have fun and do crazy things and explore and go on trips together, even when they're older. They never lose that spark. They never lose that attraction. Fifth house is also the house of short-term flings. If this is a short-term fling, y'all are definitely going to remember each other for life. I also feel like there's a very long-term energy with a lot of these connections, who picked this pile. Like, you guys are going to be remembering each other, or you guys are going to be together for a while, even married. We do have that Justice card, which connects with the seventh house of marriage. And I feel like a lot of you guys may end up together long term, especially if you can get through the arguments, any issues with that. There is such a deep level of love and connection and attraction here. And I feel like this person is also encouraging you to be the best version of yourself. Like, they want to see you shine. They want to see you do well. They're kind of like your biggest ally. Like, I feel like they really have your back. Leos are so generous and loyal to the ones they love. So are Scorpios. And I feel like this person, like, if you're in trouble, you just know you could always text them, always call them. And no matter what has gone down between you guys, they will for sure show up. They will for sure choose you every time. And I feel like that allows you to kind of relax into this connection, trust them, and really open up and be the best version of yourself when you're with them as well. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 4. I really hope that resonates, guys. If you want to see, well, first of all, if you can like this reading, subscribe, turn on notifications. That really helps the algorithm. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my content, then be sure to head to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. There are over 100 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. I just posted a reading all about your 2024 in review. So wrapping up 2024, what did you learn? What are you taking with you into 2025? How is 2025 going to look based on the lessons you alchemized and transmuted in 2024? We're getting into all of that, and there's so much content to choose from. New readings going up all the time, and again, like I said, 100 exclusive readings already posted, and then you also get to be the first to watch all my YouTube videos. They always get posted over there way early. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in joining my Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, channeling, mediumship, astrology, or a combination, whether you would like it to be pre-recorded or live, one-on-one with me, you get to really customize your session. So it's the perfect time for you, length for you. You can do it 30 minutes, you can do it an hour. You get to really go through and choose what kind of session you want, what you want us to focus on, what questions you want me to ask, and then that's your time to ask me whatever you would like, pretty much. So if that sounds good to you, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon for another reading. Take care, guys, and I will see you then.